No, brothers and sisters, welcome to my page. My comments, and such. I keep it down. I need to get here in the 10 minutes for some very, 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 very and I'm going to liberals, libertarians, people who think God, people like to smoke, people like to drink, people like ayahuasca, people like to tea, people who just can't think outside the box. I'm also talking to werewolves, bats, alien shapeshifters, lizards, all the other species, rather than just the humans that are living in this planet. You know who the hell I am. But of course, thank you very much for joining, Muhammad. How have you been? What's going on with you, brother, from my mother,
Yeah,
mother?
yeah,
Muhammad
yeah.
is from
Good,
Bangladesh.
well,
You are from Bangladesh.
no,
And
I'm
so
from India.
you're from India. Okay. So what is your
Okay,
time out here right now?
so it's 9:25 p.m. right now.
Okay.
I am lucky to see you, and today you are looking very energetic.
Yes, because I started some new revenues today, new ideas today, things that's sparking in my head because I gotta stop giving away free valuable gems. My voice is be talking to me, okay? Because you know I have schizophrenia, and I explained what schizophrenia is to you. I hope you do understand. But of
Yeah,
course,
so you start a
go ahead.
patreon.com or the site
No,
patreon.com.
go ahead.
Okay, so I saw you that you have joined Patreon or patreon.com.
Hmm.
Okay, so what is the purpose of that?
The purpose of that is to bring revenue to my videos, okay, and also my comedic purposes, for funny purposes, for knowledge purposes, for counseling purposes, for other purposes such as how to do this, how to do that. Lots of guys come to me in my inbox, including some women, with my curiosity and my knowledge from the past, because I'm a blast from the past, okay, but it's not for the masses, okay. I was born and raised in the 80s in Brooklyn, New York, and you can get paid. I don't know if you can do that out there in your country because I don't know how your bank accounts are, Muhammad, but you can probably start one if you just try to set it up, and then they'll tell you if you need a bank account or a routing number. Okay.
Okay, so I have a few question for you. I saw one of your videos that you are talking about depression. So what's the major causes of depression? Could you please explain me why depression happens and what's the major way to get rid of depression? What do you
Okay.
think about that?
Okay. There's various meanings for depression, but most people get their depression from the hereditary genes. Okay.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean by genetics?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's the first step. The first thing is that if they're born with some certain types of genes, they're going to be prone to these types of things. And also, if individuals eat certain foods, the second thing is their surroundings, their peer pressures, their peers. And this is why I urge people to do homeschooling rather than your children be around other children because you have to be very healthy individual. Let me mute your mic for a minute because you have an echo, okay? I'm gonna mute your mic when I speak, okay? Hold on.
Hello.
Okay. So what happens is that if you're hereditary, okay, or your genes have these genes within themselves, you will get depression as you're born. Okay. And if basically you are hanging around individuals who are also depressed or have negative energies, you will be depressed as well. Because I used to have depression too. My mom has depression and my father has depression. That's because it's focusing on the mothers who are not mature enough to share in polygyny relationships with the husband. And I told you a lot of times that most depression comes from the man not being happy. So the man leaves. And you already know that most people are born and raised by single mothers, which is not a good thing. Very not good thing. So depression comes from the mother first, okay? Genetics first, then your surroundings, then laziness, okay, then it's hereditary. It also comes from food problems too. The dyes in the foods and stuff like that, preservatives, okay. And the best way to combat these things is basically try to stay away from all of those things by using internal chaos magic within yourself to self-awakening. Stay away from all foods first. You have to starve yourself. You have to start and detox your body in order to refresh regardless of how you feel, because Depression is a chemical imbalance, they say. And when you have a chemical imbalance, please understand, I always got something to talk about. So here you go, right there. I am not unprepared when I come here. Okay. And it's a chemical imbalance that the man says. Okay. And when you have a chemical imbalance, that's because of the chemicals that you're eating. You're not focusing on your health. Starting from a young age, depression stems from that, a young age, or it could be genetic wise. That's why some people are retarded part of the way. Some people are more autistic with our autism. Okay, some people already have ADHD way before, and that leads on into a terrible life. The best way you can do and cure these type of problems is to keep yourself busy and eat more healthier and to stay away from people, because isolation does help. I know that may seem hard for a lot of guys because you're mostly a lonely life. But I lived a lonely life to the age of fucking 31. I lost my virginity when I was 31 years old. So now you understand that you really don't need a woman, because a woman will actually make you more depressed and more angry. So stay away from those red flags, desperation because you're lonely. Start focusing in on yourself, your inner beauty. Masturbation is key now. Now, don't listen to people when they say no flap. No, don't do that, okay? Because that builds up some karma energy inside of you, okay? You don't want to store anything like that. You don't want to store anything in your body. You want to release those things, get plenty of rest, get plenty of food, but plenty of water. You got to keep active, and that's what I did. Now you can continue talking, okay, Muhammad?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So you describes all those things in a good manner, and I also appreciate that what you have shared with me. So my question is: there any hormonal? Is there any hormone in our body play a major role in depression? Is
Well,
there any hormonal cases?
hormonal places is usually when a guy has too much estrogen in their levels. And I learned this when I was younger, and I'd be like, some guys are a little bit more feminine than others. A lot of social justice warriors are feminine energy individuals. You're raised by single mothers, correct? So if you have this feminine energy already, it reduces the testosterone levels. Are you following me? You know what testosterone levels are and estrogen
Yeah,
levels
yeah.
are?
It is a hormones of male body.
Estrogen is more for feminine people, the sex of feminine, and testosterone is more for the male dominant genes within
Yeah,
yourself. There's a lot of women, especially African American women, who have a lot of testosterone, so they become like they do attitude. They have things in their personality that's portraying like a man. Okay, that's why they say the black woman is like the worst, because her attitude, her strongness, ability to speak back to a man. Okay, and so the more estrogen, see, people don't understand the problem with estrogen and fucking and testosterone. White women have testosterone too, but they use a mask to cover that shell. Okay. And I tell people all the time, when you find a white woman, don't think she's not smart enough to use her testosterone to take you to family court, because that's what when white women do. They take good men to court, because the system feeds off of weakness like that. They feed off of estrogen. Okay. Go ahead, Muhammad. Is your internet okay, Muhammad? Muhammad, is your mic muted? And now let me see, make sure. Okay, nope, your mic is not muted. But of course, as you should already know, I'm not Joe Arse, man. I'm not Joe Peter Pan. My friend Muhammad is from India, and he should probably be back. But of course, I always got things to talk about other than that, okay? And that's a fact, okay, right? And of course, I just don't like to do comical relief all the time. I really like to talk mostly about knowledge and stuff. But I've started the Patreon page because my inner voices was fucking with me. And someone also told me, you should start a Patreon, get paid for your services and shit. I said, okay, then I'm gonna keep my free information up there so people can watch it. But of course, every time I talk about a subject, is like different. Okay, I hope you can hear me. As a matter of fact, let me make sure, because I can't stand when people call in. Let me just mute that. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me see. Let me go check my camera and mic. Okay, audio testing. All right. Okay, I have went into the settings menu on the camera mic on the StreamYard. And I found out that, of course, you can check and see if your mic is still on and correctly working. And it's still working. It may fade out a little bit, but it will come right back in. But of course, if their internet is bad, then of course he will come back on. If his internet is good, then he'll. If it's good, you'll come back on. If it's bad, he won't be returning. But of course, you as you know, I'm starting a Patreon. I started a Patreon. I will no longer be like doing all this. This is my last Marthia's knowledge. Okay, so the voices are telling me something's about to happen or something like that. I think my wife is causing this planet to change as we speak, because when bad things happen to Jesus types in the world, okay, then the world starts to shift. And I told you before, y'all should all take this test, which is called Myers-Briggs report. Okay, I gotta stop covering up my fucking mic. And of course, the Myers-Briggs report tells you what type of personality you are, but it has to be revised. And I think everyone has their own unique set of roles. No two people are alike. And let me explain something to you very clearly of what a soulmate and a kindred is. A soulmate is someone who you make that out to be. Okay? That person may not be compatible with you. You just make them out to be because that's what you want in that person. But a kindred spirit, I repeat, a kindred spirit happens between 4% of the time in the world. A kindred spirit is someone who's exactly who your personality is and who you are. Most people don't like themselves. Did you know that? They really don't like themselves. They don't have faith in themselves. So they have to use some sort of externalism in order to be free from themselves. You understand what I'm saying? So a kindred spirit is someone who matches your personality. It might be even to them your own appearance. So I know I would be a very beautiful person because with my nice bubbly little nose and bubbly juicy lips. If I had a female companion who was just like me, I would love myself to death. Okay, but of course, I would tell you right now, those are the two differences between a soulmate and a kindred spirit. Okay, so people got to get that clear out of their head. Okay, because I'm older than they are, and you should already know who the hell I am. I'm 46 years old this year, so I'm gonna try to do some Patreon. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put my Patreon there, okay, and see if I can actually. Oh, okay. See, I hate when that happens. It says the Patreon. Okay, hold on. Let me just put this in the note box here. No, as a matter of fact, it will disappear, right? No. Just keep it. I'll put it in the description box when I'm done. Okay. But other than that, I started a Patreon, guys, and I like to talk about random subjects. But I want people to understand that if you want to be a person that's truly unique from everybody else, and you don't want to fit in, okay, start doing unique things on your own. Okay, I'm not. I already told you who the hell I am, and I put down the description of who I am. So a lot of people can't contend to the type of person who I am because they can't grasp that truth. Okay, so they're afraid. But if I'm doing this Patreon, if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. Now, my friend Phil, okay, Phil wants me to get on his show, and I told him he got 198,000 followers, but he never advertises my stuff. Or maybe he does. I don't know. And I really don't care. I like to do things independently. So when people want to if you want to get your face out there, it takes maybe 1 or 2 years if you're doing it directly for yourself. If you're paying someone, okay, to put your information out there, it depends on the value of your content, okay. And I don't want to change for someone, okay. Somebody might say that to change this and change that. I don't want to do that. That's not who I am. I'm a therapist of sorts. I'm a schizologist. And as I keep telling people all of the time, a schizologist is someone who has schizophrenia, who tells the truth just like Jesus Christ, the Jesus types, the INTJ types. Okay, those individuals who can use their intuition to the highest fullest potential, who can also be passive and aggressive at the same time, like myself, because I'm passive aggressive. And I know all the knowledge in the universe. So I'm not trying to be arrogant when I say that, because nobody else is going to say that. Because when you ask me a question, then you learn something. Okay. So I'm talking for 14 minutes again. And what is the topics that we are going to talk about today on this paper here? Okay, let me see. I'm going to talk about one thing, and then we're going to go off because I talked to my Bangladesh friends, my associates in India, and even Nigeria, and I try to talk about something that's very important for the current time beings. So far, we're talking about the stimulus package. It's supposed to be another one coming, and I hope so. It does, because I do want to pay off all my bills today once this comes, and I will be set free, and I won't have to worry about owing anybody again. And my purpose in telling y'all in these dark times today is that you notice how people are running out in the street in America, right? Guys are and women are running out in the street. Understand that who is pushing this agenda? The media is controlled by who? Ask yourself this question. And then look at the people who's following those individuals, who's in the crowd, who's the one who's throwing bricks, who's the one who's actually setting shit up. You got to ask yourself those questions. Anyone who's still in rioting mode and anyone who's still talking about Trump and shit like that, you should just ignore those individuals. Just don't believe the hype. Okay, understand that if people are talking bad about Trump and people hate Trump, that means Trump is actually doing something good. This world works backwards instead of forwards. Up is down and down is up. When you lose your body, it will be that way. It will be backwards. And the first thing your mind will be set to is to go up. And when you go up, you'll just be brought back here into the recycling bin because you haven't learned your lesson. If you read all religions, it talks the same way. It says up is down, and down is up. It tells you this. It even tells you that even in the Bible, it talks about how Jesus was the devil and God at the same time. But you don't have to take my word for it. Right? It's already written there already yourself. It says God created evil. So Jesus created evil too. No person is evil. No person is perfect unless you have both the balance of the light and the dark in this world. You can do what you please in this world. This realm is the physical realm. Okay, so I got a message here from a messenger app. My internet connection went down. So I want to be, I said, I can understand that. Okay, let me just go back here. And so I still got my English speaking classes up and running. And so he tries to understand what I speak. And I speak on an intermediate level more than most out there in society. Okay. And I do articulate my words pretty well. But let's talk about something else. So I advise everyone to don't believe the hype. And my wife actually is probably causing all this canary virus and this crazy shit to happen because my wife is not. She tends to be listening to me now. And so I told my wife to say, whatever you're doing sneaky, had anyone joined after me? Okay, no, not yet. Okay, not yet. I'm on Messenger app at the same time, not yet. And so if anybody's watching me, you can speak or forever hold your peace. Okay. You can see my donation boxes. Anything that's donated to me shall be given to those in need in Bangladesh and also India, which is the most recent individuals I'm talking to. Muhammad already popped up on here. We was talking about depression and hormonal imbalances. Okay. And of course, I started my Patreon page. I was telling people how to not focus on the media. I'm not going to put nothing in the title because it gets kind of arduous and annoying because everything I fucking say, like I say, when I say, hello, about it, trying to keep it down and the 10 minutes story goes over 10 minutes. It's very, 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 very fucking and not important to liberals, libertarians, people who believe in God, people who like to smoke, people like to drink, people like ayahuasca, people who just cannot think outside the box. And if you do think outside the box, my dear friends, please understand that I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. Hey, don't get bored. If you do think outside the box, don't go too far out the goddamn box. Okay. If you want to think in your wildest dreams to go too far out the box, you become a nutball. Probably like myself a little bit. I'm on the edge of going out too farther outside the box, right? As I told you before, schizos have the best knowledge in the world. Asperger's have the best. I'm an indigo child, motherfuckers. Please understand that. Okay, so please, y'all gotta focus on asking more questions in life to the right individuals. You should not go to these cracker so-called therapists out here. Okay, because they get charged for listening to your bullshit and they don't have time for it. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Medication should be diagnosed as something as an emergency and cases of times and crisis and needs because everything is a poison now here because you haven't experimented certain things in your body. Understand that everybody's body is unique in their own fashion. Do you have the Rh negative monkey rhesus factor in your body? Do you study? Do you genetics? Do you understand that every little thing that you do can kill you in this life? You got to be careful as you gradually like to drink that soda pop, as you gradually like to drink that fucking coffee and shit, but you don't realize that shit is killing you slowly and you're getting cancer. Especially if you're Caucasoid to Milan, okay. It's a cracker, okay. Caucasian from the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, right, motherfucker. But anyway, as I said before, I started a Patreon page, and I will post it after this video is over. As I said before, I'm only going to talk a half an hour because whenever I just put Mandel Evans here, I have multiple faces, baby. This is just who I am off. I put Mandel Evans because I'm talking to special individuals who are living in another country. And I told you before, I am a Renaissance, so I'm almost pretty much into everything, including porn, making my own videos and proving people that most people are idiots. That's what I tried to do. Most people are idiots because most of you are religious. Okay, so you're already in the delusional state in the matrix, the matriarch. You're not focusing on the God particle. You're not focused on that everybody's the same, and you don't focus on possibilities and probabilities. So you're not an atheist. Okay, no, if you don't focus on probabilities, then you are an atheist because atheists are completely closed-minded to that possibility and probability. But don't get me misconstrued with words now here. I'm older than most of you now. You come up on here, and I even talk to the white folks too. I say, yo, you know what is said in the past. You're just closed-minded. You don't believe in any possibility of aliens or pink unicorns. Now, agnostics can't say that there's no such thing as pink unicorns. Atheists will say there's no such thing as, but you hear the key word here. Okay, we don't know if there's such thing as a pink unicorn. Remember that. Okay, that's agnostic. But of course, what else is there to talk about? Now, the other thing I want to talk about here today, even though I started this Patreon, okay, I don't know if it's going to work, and I doubt it. But I'm using Magic Mojo. I think it's going to work because everyone promotes one another. So if one person likes it, they share it. Correct? That's how it works. That's how everything works. Now, some people pay for their subscribers. Okay, some people pay for it, and all of the masses of the fucking sea of people that's basically on that person's Patreon or whatever are basically just decoys. Okay, just fake news. Okay, that's not real news. You got to watch that shit that Donald Trump tries to say. He says fake news. That's not real. You gotta be careful of imposters. Sometimes someone can be receiving something and getting this, and that shit is not real because you don't know what's going on in the background. You don't know the algorithms. Well, I'm gonna tell you some innovative shit. If you can fake that you're getting donations, you can get a lot more views. And I'm thinking about trying that to a degree, but I'm like, okay, because someone told me, those are fake donations, right? They're not real. And when people give donations, people are biased, okay? And these biased intentions may be put out there. Somebody told me about this. And then the voice is telling me I should start a Patreon page. But I'm not going to use any form of manipulation, okay? You understand what I'm saying? You're not going to make that much money. You're not going to get rich, okay, by doing Patreon. No one is going to get rich from doing Patreon, okay, all right? No one's going to get rich by doing pretty much most things in society, okay? It's all on who you know. Someone gives you a donation of $2 million, then you're rich, okay? So that's instant. That's an instant success. But please understand that you can make approximately $2,000 a month if you just put your hard-earned effort into it. But I try not to put my shit out there like that. I don't put my shit out there to where it can be easily regurgitated, easily received and regurgitated because I'm a schizo. And on top of that, that doesn't make me a foolish individual. It's just I have a method to my madness. And I don't want people to gravitate too much for me because, that leads to too many masses of asses, which are mainly you, most of you people, okay? And I told you this before, gathering too many followers or too many people is like Joe Osteen and Joyce Myers can lead to your downfall because I don't want none of that karma. Even though karma can come to those individuals who are purely good and have good intentions, you're being greedy. You're receiving something, but you're not giving back out. I don't want that energy on my side. When I receive things, I have to give it back. That's who the fuck I am because I'm a Jesus type. Now, okay. And I'm very conscious and self-aware. So anyone out there who are empath like myself, and of course who is thoughtful, you're noble and your deeds, you should write something there. And let me see what else is there to talk about. Okay. So I keep telling people not to follow the media. Don't become the hype. And let me see. So much stuff to talk about. So little time. And I only want to talk for a half an hour here because when I'm doing I already said this before, time and time again, some people just don't hear for some reason. When I get on here and I'm talking about something, especially when I'm talking to my associates in Bangladesh or India, I only talk for like a half an hour. All right. So you say something or forever hold your peace. I'll talk about one more thing. And let me see. I want some people to understand the problem with eugenics is. And I want white people to know that I've encountered this guy. His name, what the hell is his name? His name is okay, he's a alt-right. And his name, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find that paper. I put it somewhere and gee, no, not there. Oh, okay. I can't think of his name right now. But when I do my live, when I do my stream again, and when I do an internet, I'll find his name. But his name, what is his name? I can't find that paper. Oh shit! Because I wasn't expecting to do a stream today. I wasn't expecting it. But there was this guy in the far right alt, and everybody said he's a racist. And I said that I do believe in separation of the races. I do believe in that shit. But as we should already know that we're living in a reality of fucking chaos. Think how long that's going to last, because human beings were actually, working together with other species, which I was reading about in the older texts in the Mahabharata, Hindu texts and shit, and Ramayana and Vishnu records. Okay, but understand everything is only a temporary vortices, okay, in this life. And if you separate the sex and races, Confucius, okay, you will have a utopia for a while. And it might even turn into a fucking myopia, okay? A mytopia, okay? But other than that, when you do this, okay, it causes division, okay? But the genes stay strong. So if we're talking about eugenetics here, but there are other races amongst us rather than just humans, white people, and crackers abroad again. Understand that if you say you want to separate us, okay, now this guy, I forgot his name, David something, okay, can't think of it right now. I need to find his name, okay. Oh, Richard Spencer. There it is. There's a paper. It was on the side of the. There it is. Name is Richard Spencer, and I think y'all guys should look him up, okay? Because I'm gonna put his name right there, okay. Now, when he was speaking, he was very Richard Spencer. It's a very peculiar man to me, okay, because he sounds just like okay. I put his name there, okay. He sounds just like Marcus Garvey, okay. And I keep telling people there are black individuals who sound just like him. Malcolm X also thought about things just like Richard Spencer, and I keep telling people all the time that Malcolm X wanted to do things by force, okay. Mahatma Gandhi was an Indian man who did things passively through sacrifice. Okay, and Martin Luther King adapted his abilities to do such a thing. Okay, so you should already know Richard's the alt right, and Marcus Garvey is also on the right, all right. And if you don't know about Marcus Garvey, okay, so I'm gonna put his name here so you can do the research yourself. He was also in cahoots talking to the KKK. Marcus, okay, Garvey, and just look it up because I don't like to get my information misconstrued. Okay, and he wanted separation of the sexes by logical means, by political means. Okay, he wanted to do a strategy, but someone interfered with Marcus Garvey's plans, and it wasn't white people. Guess who interfered with Marcus Garvey's plans? Another fucking race called the Jewish people, the fucking Gentile type motherfuckers, and they found a way to basically capture him through fraud, banking fraud. And you can look up Marcus Garvey yourself, and he was extradited from the United States because he wasn't born and raised in the United States, and they extradited him, and he died in another land. Okay. And so you should already know that if blacks was trying to work with whites, trying to have separation legally without slavery and all that other bullshit that actually have those terrible things that happen, because blacks already had their Wall Street, they had their own monopoly at one time, and they were very much more mature back in those days in the fucking, the 60s and the 70s or some shit. No, I think it was before that, yeah, before the 50s and 60s, the Black Wall Street existed. Okay, it was like in the 40s or something like that. And I think it may have happened afterward. I don't know. But Black Wall Street, you can just look it up. And I'm gonna put that down there so you can look for yourself. But I don't know how long these comments was gonna stay up on there. But I talked about it it's called Black Wall Street. And it really wasn't Black Wall Street, as from my perspective and research, Wall Street, okay. I found out that it was just a nice community where all blacks really got together. They got along, but everything was destroyed and bombed because white people were just jealous and angry, and they didn't want them to succeed. So that's the thing. That's the dangers of systematic racism, because we talk about racism all the time and fucking eugenetics. I talk about that shit. I talk about other things too, but if we want to talk about aliens and food and shit and chaos magic and shit like that, and Giglioer and everything that I talk about, my main topics are those things. Okay? I'm not always going to be funny on here. I'm not here to just go, yeah. I'm just here to waste your time until it's time to die. Okay. Time to die on turtle fucking soup. Right? Okay. But other than that, I said I was going to be on here for half an hour and I did it. I proceeded. And I want to talk about so many other things, but I can't talk about it now because I'm trying to build my fucking audience through manual means. Okay. Now I get my audience. I already got like followers already. I don't need people to be telling me what to do and shit. I ask for instructions. You give me instructions, and then I'm going off there. Okay, because I'm an independent contractor here, motherfuckers. And I recommend y'all guys to be an independent contractor. So I'm gonna be getting that fuck out of here. Now thank you all for very much for popping up in here. And as you should already know, there is no title. Okay. I'll put a little title. I may put a little title. I'll just put starting my Patreon. Message to all, okay, on YouTube. And if you follow me, you'll get my notifications on here. And this is free information. YouTube is free. Everything, all information on the internet is fucking free. Many perspectives, okay? Everyone has different perspectives about many different things, you guys. You should know this. And thank you very much for listening to your friendly neighborhood sociologist. I love you all, but I hate the many of you. I love animals more than human beings. And I appreciate Muhammad for joining, okay? And if you want to know who my friends are, you come to my page and you'll be able to find them. Because I'm getting tired of putting all that stuff up there, and you can look at my older fucking videos and see their name and find their name. Okay. Peace. Bye, bitches.